I'm Tim Webber. I am the Chief Creative Officer at Framestore, and I have worked as visual effects supervisor on Gravity, on The Dark Knight, on a variety of other films, and I have recently directed my own short film called FLITE. I studied physics at university. It was a toss-up though between going to art school and doing physics, and I ended up doing physics because people told me that would be the most useful, which wasn't quite true. But then when I left university, I probably did more art at university than I did physics, which isn't saying much, but I wanted to find something that combined the two areas in a way. I mean, visual effects doesn't really use physics, but it uses my technical abilities and along with artistic interests. I was always interested in films. I love films, love filmmaking. I made a short film at university. I enjoyed that sort of thing, and photography actually as well. And at the time, there was some really innovative and interesting new things being done in the world of pop promos. And it was the beginning of the golden age of pop promos, and people were doing very almost art pieces, some of them, some quirky different things, and that fascinated me, and that's kind of what I was interested in, and that's how I ended up in the visual effects world. Generally, I've been a visual effects supervisor for many years, but recently I've just written and directed my own short, so slightly different to what I've done before. I've done a bit of directing before, but yeah, we've just finished it, but it's still taking up my time because I'm sort of starting to do, talk to people about it and that sort of thing. Being a short film, it's sort of, there's an odd release. It goes to some festivals. We're going to show it to film studios, that sort of thing. So it's a slightly strange. I would love. At some point it will go out on the internet as well, but I'd love, there's no sort of big release of it, I suppose, because it's a short film. It's not like a feature-length piece. We've done a Dolby Atmos version. These days, the challenges I'd say are less technical, because visual effects has come a long way or digital visual effects in the sort of 30 years that it's been being done has come a long way. A lot of the big challenges have been largely overcome. Except I'd say digital humans is still a bit of a challenge. You can create digital humans, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. And to get them with the subtlety and nuance of a real human is very hard to achieve. But really the challenges are how to apply all of the things you can do in a cost-effective way to increase creativity, in an affordable way. Because you could sort of do anything if you had the money, but to make it, to how best to funnel it, how best to communicate with all the other filmmakers, and how best to enhance the creativity, how to use those tools. I think that's something we're still improving. The big change at the moment, the big thing that everyone is talking about, is the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and how that's going to affect things. And we don't know how it's going to affect things because it has changed so much in the last 6 months. So many new bits of technology have come out literally in the last 6 months, and it seems to be moving so fast that I think everyone is slightly uncertain as to how it's going to change everything we do. It will definitely have some significant effect, but whether it's just we'll be replacing little bits of what we do with machine learning tools, or whether it will just transform the whole industry. When you see the generative AI, like Midjourney and things, which mostly at the moment create stills, but you can just describe an image you want and it will create a photoreal amazing still, but they're starting to be able to create moving images too. That may transform everything. We don't really know yet. It will be interesting to see how it develops over the next few years. I think working on Gravity was an incredible opportunity to work on a film which had the number of really complex challenges that Gravity had, all in one film, for it to be a great film, a great story, beautifully directed, beautifully lit by Chivo, the cinematographer, and because visual effects was so integral to it, such a large part of the film, I was lucky enough to be right at the heart of the creative process, working very closely with Alfonso and Chivo and everyone else, and and it was just an amazing experience. And when we started it, we didn't know we could pull it off. I didn't really know we could pull it off till about a month or so before we finished the film. And then we thought, well, it's okay. And then when it was first shown and the reactions it got were very, very positive, it was an incredible experience. Yeah.